our new webcast, Bima, Vikas, Vartalap, episode 8. Recently, Insurance Institute of India launched this initiative called Bima, Vikas, Vartalap, wherein we reach out to industry leaders who would be sharing their thoughts and experiences on the overall development of the industry. Bima, Vikas, Vartalap is also aligned with the regulatory objective of Insurance for All by 2047. Our guest for today's program is Mr. Pankaj Gupta. So, firstly, good morning, sir, and let me welcome you to Bima Vikas Vartalap series on behalf of Insurance Institute of India.
Good morning, Ramesh. It's great to be here with you today.
Thank you, sir. Sir, for the benefit of viewers, let me introduce you to everyone. So, Pankaj Gupta has over 26 years of rich experience in financial services across banking and life insurance sector in highly reputed companies such as ICICI, Citigroup, and HDFC, both in India and overseas. In his most recent role, Pankaj was a member of HDFC Life Executive Committee and Group Head for Credit Life, Banca Alliances, Strategic Alliances, Digital Alliances, and Distribution Strategy. In his last assignment, Pankaj was responsible for signing up and managing over 300 partnerships across India. He was also the Chief Marketing Officer of HDFC Life, responsible for brand, channel marketing, market research, corporate and internal communications, CRM, and voice of customer from 2017 to 2021. His prior assignment include a more than 3-year tenure in the USA with TCS as Senior Vice President, Citibank US Consumer Banking Relationship. He was earlier also the SVP and Head for International Banking COE for Citigroup Global Services and National Sales Head for Payment Solutions for ICICI Bank. Pankaj has broad experience in financial services at various leadership levels with a track record of building and operating high growth profitable businesses. He's a Bachelor of Technology from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, and has a postgraduate diploma in management from Indian Institute of Management, IIM, Lucknow. So this is a brief about Mr. Pankaj Gupta, our guest for today. Sir, please let me know if I missed any important point or points which you wanted to highlight in your corporate journey.
Ramesh, that was a very comprehensive introduction. And as your viewers know, my latest assignment is that of being the MD and CEO at Pramerica Life Insurance. So to the 26 years of experience that you talked about, 2 more have been added. So now I have more than 28 years of experience in the Indian financial services industry, have seen a lots of cycles, a lots of excitement, and a lot of maturation of the entire financial services piece in India. It is just unrecognizable from when I joined the industry, and it has been an exciting journey, thrilling journey. And as each day passes, it gets more and more interesting as well.
I agree, sir. Excellent. I think 28 years. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, with this, can we go ahead with our questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. Sir, I'm sure regulator is very keen about Insurance for All by 2047 and initiated many steps in this direction. How will Pramerica Life contribute in achieving this ultimate goal, sir? If you can brief us.
So you know that the goal of Insurance for All by 2047 is a very inspirational goal that our regulator has set for the entire industry. As we all know that insurance is a product that we all need when we are probably down in the dumps in our life. From that perspective, it is not just any other financial product. It is a financial product that leads people to live their life with more assurance, more confidence, and more dignity. In India, you know that insurance has gone through a lot of phases. If you were to look at our own country in life insurance, there was a pre-LIC era before 1956. The 1956 to year 2000, this was the LIC era. And after 2000, it is LIC plus other private players era. So industry has evolved in many ways over these years. Where I see the latest phase of our journey as an industry in life insurance from, let us say, the last 2 years onwards is that of expanding and deepening the penetration of life insurance to the customers and segments that are probably underserviced. So we all have data and statistics about the insurance density in India, the insurance penetration in India, and I would say all of us recognize and appreciate that a lot more can be done to take life insurance to more and more people in the country, not just as a product, but also in terms of the amount of coverage that people have, because some people may have insurance with them, but it may not be adequate as per their needs. So the opportunity for all of us in this industry is to increase the penetration to more and more people, as well as to expand coverage in line with the requirements of a growing economy, growing affluence, and more sophisticated needs that are coming up. When you talk about the role of Pramerica Life, I would say, given that India is still largely underpenetrated, lots of customers have not even taken a single life insurance policy so far. We see our role as that of finding out niches of customers that are underserviced, types of distribution partnership that can be expanded with greater degree of focus, the type of partners who may not be getting enough attention from existing ecosystem, and thereby really take it to the last mile, to the last customer who is today under service. So that is where we feel there is a lot more to come as we go towards the insurance for all by 2047. If I have to talk a little bit more specific a little bit more specific terms, I would say in India, life insurance uh, journey has been very exciting from 1956 onwards with LIC, and then from the year 2000 onwards with the private players coming in. However, more can be done to take it to, I would say, relatively less affluent sections of our society. So, less affluent sections of the society, then people outside of the major metros and the major cities, so suburban markets, rural markets, I would say lots of them are total opportunity areas which help in expanding the distribution of the products without getting into saturated markets. And the regulatory landscape has been very supportive. You are aware of that Bima Trinity of Bima Sugam, Bima Vistar, Bima Vahak that is taking more and more concrete shape every single day. I'm very excited about each of these. I'm very excited about the way the entire industry has taken this up as a mission mode to take insurance to everybody in the country.
Yes, sir. Agree, sir. Thank you so much. I think reaching out to less affluent sections is very vital. And as rightly said by you, the Bima Trinity is going to play a very vital role in the entire thing. Sir, the other thing I just wanted to check with you is insurance industry is 20 plus years old,
Yes.
but still the industry is struggling the most with mis-selling. IRDAI had initiated many steps, but still there is a gap. Please suggest, as per you, what needs to be done to eradicate mis-selling in the insurance industry.
I fully agree with you, Ramesh, that while the industry has grown rapidly, there have been pockets of mis-selling which have contributed to customers not being served well. We as an industry need to do more to make sure that this is totally eradicated. Any mis-selling essentially means that the customer did not get what they wanted from the industry. And any customer who's not getting what they wanted from the industry essentially is a customer who is going to not suggest life insurance to any of his friends or family members. Beyond that, when there is a mis-sell and the customer decides to either cancel his policy or stop paying premium, this has a very adverse impact on the financial profile as well as the customer centricity of the life insurance company involved. So it's not in anybody's interest. Now you're also aware that from 1st of October 2024, new surrender value guidelines have also come into the place. With the new surrender value guidelines, if there is a customer dissonance and the customer ends up canceling a policy sooner than later, there is a large financial impact on the life insurance company as well. So the industry, I would say, has taken note of this problem more and more seriously. Whatever numbers I have seen, Ramesh, over the past couple of years, in general, the number of complaints per 10,000 policies sold is in general on a downward trend. So the industry has already taken note of it. More needs to be done. And I would give you an example of the steps that have been taken in even more seriously of late by the industry as well as by our company. So one thing is that I have a standard direction to my team that if there is any mis-selling complaint from any customer, the benefit of doubt about the complaint must go to the customer. We are not going to pick up pieces where we use it to justify why it was not a missell. If the customer says it was a missell, barring some cases where we believe there is a gamification of the system that is happening, for any genuine customer, if he feels there was a mis-selling, the benefit of doubt, I am saying, goes to the customer at all stages, whether it is the initial sales stage, whether it is a direct complaint, whether it is through some of the tribunals that the complaint is coming to us, we would give the benefit of doubt to the customer. Number two, in all our metrics internally, whichever teams and people and departments that we assess, we are looking at their complaints ratios as a very important metric. So if you are doing well on your business growth, but your customer complaints are not within the desired levels, you are not going to be assessed very well by the organization at Pramerica Life. So the seriousness of curbing mis-selling is taken to the last mile of our team members. Number three, we are also implementing a lot of action at the distributor level. So whether it is an individual agent or a broker or any other type of a distributor, if the number of complaints is very high, we are taking action, including in some cases, totally stopping the business with those distributors. So our distributors also are aware how seriously we view mis-selling complaints. So when I look at the entire architecture of who all are the touch points for the customer where there could be a mis-selling opportunity, we are curbing it at each of the levels. I also take some steps at a systematic level, I would call it at a systemic level, which prevent the chances of mis-selling. So for example, for each of the customer segments, based upon the profile of the customers in that segment, as well as the profile of the people who are bringing that product to the end customer, what are the products that are permitted to be sold without any additional checks? So if there are higher risk products or products that are more complicated to understand, we are not taking them to all customer segments without building in the right control. So at the product level itself, we have an understanding of what products may be more susceptible to mis-selling so that we are controlling them by setting up the right business rules in terms of the processes that are required to be followed to sell certain types of higher risk products to certain segments of customers. So I would say all of these, when we put together, I have fair degree of confidence that the improvement in the mis-selling that we have seen as an industry in the last couple of years, after the industry realized that it is a very serious problem to be managed, this trend would continue not just within Pramerica Life but across the industry as well.
Absolutely, sir. I think, firstly, very happy to hear, good thing, is the complaints are coming down relatively. But the one important point which you highlighted is about handling the customer dissonance, which also plays a vital role in ensuring that we are in a position to give the best to the industry and curb the overall mis-selling. I agree with you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, companies are focusing more on digitization to reach out to customers. Can you please highlight uh, few important initiatives of Pramerica Life on technology front?
Ramesh, as we all know that today we are in the middle of a world that is turning more and more digital almost every single day. And that digitization extends to all parts of the value chain, all parts of the organization, whether it is the customer related processes, whether these are employee related processes, whether they are distributor related processes, whether they are processes that help us analyze our own data better, whether they are processes that help us take our brand to the market. All of these are getting impacted by digitization on a very, very regular basis. Today, almost I see digitization as the old story about the blind man and the elephant. The blind man, when they look at the elephant, somebody looks at the trunk, somebody looks at the feet, somebody looks at the body. So today, digitization has become almost that type of word because it encompasses every single aspect of our day-to-day operations. For example, this discussion that we are having today, this has been totally facilitated by digitization. We don't need to meet face to face to have such type of a serious deliberation in a very, I would say, interactive setting compared to what may have been the norm 5 or 10 years ago. Similarly, when I look at digitization in our company at Primarca Life, a lot of our processes, for example, related to the claims, related to the customer onboarding, even related to the hiring of our people, looking at what product to take to which type of customer segments, how to integrate with our partners, how to enable more and more self-service portals, how do we ensure that our linkages with the partners, whether they are on the retail product side or on the group product side, are more and more digitized. How we look at our customer experience journey, where whatever interface the customer might have with our brand and the company, all of those are fully digitized, and we capture the moment of truth through the voice of the customer at each of those points as well. I would say each one of these areas has been totally and totally evaluated from the perspective of leveraging digitization to the maximum possible extent. Recently, you are aware that we have also come out with our new brand campaign. This is My Climb, second version, second edition. In this our marketing campaign as well, we have done a lot of leverage of digitization for taking our brand to the last mile. So that is how I would summarize that digitization today embeds each and every aspect of our operations to an extent that was unforeseen, I would say, even 12 months ago. In my own personal day-to-day engagement within Primarca Life and outside, I'm leveraging a lot of these tools. The latest is the AGI tools that we all are aware of, including tools like ChatGPT and others. So whatever communications we are taking to our partners, to our employees, I'm leveraging some of those tools. I have a fortnightly or a monthly engagement session, which is an informal engagement session within my organization where I speak with a lot of our employees. And these are theme-based discussions. A lot of those discussions are facilitated by digitization as well. So digitization in some ways you can also see as an additional force that is available to you. So let us say you have to lift some weight. You could lift that weight with your own muscle, but you could also get the support of a machine. In many ways, digitalization has also become an aid to your thinking process. So today, all of us should leverage all of these tools to the maximum possible extent because they are becoming more and more an extended arm of our thinking process in some ways.
Yes, sir. I think thanks so much, for one is about the portals which you mentioned, self-service portals, and also the other important point is about creating that wow factor with the customer in terms of his digital journey. These are the areas where it is going to immensely help all the companies. Sir,
Right.
the other just wanted to check with you on the accounting part. The regulator is particular that insurance companies adopt new Ind AS 17 accounting or migrate to the complete IFRS accounting. Also, the risk-based capital is in the offing. So how do you see the industry preparing for these two crucial changes?
So Ramesh, I take these upcoming changes as very positive changes. These align our accounting and our industry to the global standards. And not just global standards, they are also more aligned to the economic reality of the business rather than doing things in a templated way alone. So while there are going to be some implementation and transition related challenges where the entire industry will need to focus on that, I'm very enthused by the fact that our regulator is going about these changes in a very systematic manner. There has been a lot of dialogue with the industry. Many of these things have gone through desktop level analysis. Based upon the results of that analysis, there are certain work groups that are working in a very detailed manner to understand the implications. Based upon the implications and the objectives, whatever refinements need to be done on that approach, those are being made. There is a Bima Manthan that takes place enabled by periodically. The Bima Manthan, many of the agenda items are related to these upcoming changes. So I would say the industry is going through it in a very systematic manner enabled by our regulator. And I do believe that finally, when they are implemented, the industry would be more well aligned with the international norms on these, as well as more aligned to the economic realities of the business. So I'm looking forward to these changes as they get implemented. As I mentioned, any transition has a level of preparation required and it may present some challenges from time to time. But given the systematic way in which the entire industry is looking at these enabled by the regulator, I am very positive these will be implemented in a very robust manner without any disruption to the industry.
Sure, sir. I think thank you very much. Happy to hear that there's enough thought process, in Bhima Manthan about this, and I'm sure we'll be pretty better prepared the entire industry. Sir, I mean, where do you see Pramerica Life in the next 5 years? What are the key focus areas for the company, sir?
So Pramerica Life, has gone through a couple of changes in its existence in the country. So Pramerica has been in the country since about 2008. However, the company went through multiple changes in this period. Our latest journey began about I would say 4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago. And this is the journey where what we are focusing on is a long-term sustainable growth of the enterprise. So I would want to stress on each part of this strategy, long-term and sustainable growth of the organization. So the growth has to be long-term, it has to be sustainable, then only it makes sense. So as a corollary of this strategy, we have to achieve certain objectives. We have to achieve financial objectives. We have to do things in a way that there are more capabilities created within the organization, whether they are capabilities related to technology or digital or underwriting or reinsurance or product or people, etc. Then we need to make sure that our teams are trained in the right way, they are hired, the right people are hired, they are motivated, and they are retained by us over a long period of time. And finally, whatever we need to do to manage the quality of the business. So whether it is the complaint that you spoke about, whether it is high claims ratios, whether it is maintaining persistency of the business, whether it is mitigating any potential frauds in the business. So whatever is required from a quality perspective in the business is also very important. So there are four levers that I spoke about: financial outcomes, organizational capabilities, people agenda, as well as the quality matrix. So this is the journey that we are driving for the next 4 years. Now, within financial outcomes, if we have to grow, one of the financial outcomes we want to achieve is to grow in a robust manner. From that perspective, one of our strategies is to keep diversifying our distribution mix. So if you were to look at our past, we had a major dependency on our business on the retail side on the army business that we do. Our effort is, while we keep our leadership intact in that business, we also develop new channels. So my personal objective is that by next year, which is the financial year 25-26, can I create three new channels that were probably having a very small contribution to the company's business a couple of years ago, but each one of these three has a substantial triple digit type of a contribution to our business in the next financial year. So that will be one of the agendas on the diversification of the business. Second thing would be our product diversification. While in the past we have been on the group side, we have been on the non-par side, we are reducing our dependency on the group side. We are enhancing our product mix beyond just the non-par so that our growth is more robust and more broad-based. So, and doing all of this while creating the capability that I spoke about, while managing our capital efficiency, profitability, and our alignment to the expense of management journey that our regulator is again very, very serious about. So this is the, I would say, nuanced strategy that we are driving that ultimately puts us on the path of long-term sustainable growth of the enterprise. That strategy has many ramifications, and we will keep, I would say, fine-tuning our strategy so that the intent and the spirit of long-term sustainable growth is always kept in mind while we drive any particular detail of this process.
So, sir, thanks for the update, and with this we come to the end of this interview. So thank you so much for joining Insurance Institute of India on this initiative. Our viewers will immensely get benefited from your thoughts and experiences. We will be keenly looking forward to connect you again on other important topic in the days to come. Thank you once again for giving us your time on in your busy schedule. Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure to have had this opportunity to engage with you, Ramesh. And I do know that Insurance Institute of India is doing great job. I look forward to more and more opportunities of collaborating with the institute as well as working with your students so that whatever opportunities we can create for them in the path of our strategy, we are able to do that as well. So very excited to be a part of this discussion today.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.